Okay, you guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Christy, were you going to say something?
Well, I was going to introduce you, honey.
Go ahead.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to our weekly testimonial Zoom. This is for Team Freedom, and we really appreciate that you're here and you're in for a special treat. We have a new director on our team, which is super exciting. Renata Smith just hit director today, which is a big milestone in our company. And what that means is that, yes, everybody celebrate. We're so grateful for her. And what that means is that she's truly helping a lot of people. Renata has a servant heart. She's a servant leader, and she truly is. She's growing a global cell phone business. She's now in, how many countries are you in? 3? 2 or 3? Four countries now, which is so exciting. And her team just keeps expanding by the day. And I know she's running for a free trip to Cancun. So that's exciting. We'll be traveling the beaches of the world together. So without further ado, I want you to please give a warm welcome to Renata Smith, our new director. Thank you so much, Renata.
Thank you, Christy. I am super excited to be here. Thank you so much, Christy. She has been an amazing leader for all of us. And I started with this company a year ago, and honestly didn't think I was going to make director this quick, but I'm very, very thankful for all of everybody's guidance and inspiration, because it really has been a journey, and it's a team effort. Literally, I can't do it without my team. So it really has been an incredible team effort. So very, very thankful. As Christy said, we're very thankful that you guys are here to join us, or if you're listening on the replay, we'll put the replay on our YouTube channel, which is Team Freedom Community YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do, because you'll get notifications when we put new videos on there. And if anybody's interested in recording their testimony, I would love to record that for you and put it in our YouTube channel as well. So just reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook or wherever. So let's start out tonight by just want to say this. If you're a guest here, there's a reason somebody has invited you. There's a reason because they care about you. They care about your health. I know Carrie Garza is sitting on the screen as well, and she invited me a little over a year ago to come to a meeting to learn about these patches. And I was like, well, I hadn't heard about them before. I was like, I'm all in, let's go learn. Literally the next day, my massage therapist invited me to the same meeting, and I'm like, okay, God, I heard, I'm going. And so I show up and I learn about the testimonies and learn about the technology and learn about the science and learn about the company. And I was just, all I could do was think of, first, of course, we always think of how is it going to help us, right? Like, what results are we going to get? But then secondly, I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I know all these people who could really use this. First person I called was my physical therapist sister. And I'm like, you've taught me about light therapy. I understand this technology. You need to look into it, research. And within a week, she was signing up. She was signing her doctor husband up as well. And they've been patching ever since. So for me personally, just a little quick story. I was mainly looking for relief from my shoulder. And I was hurting when I was sleeping on it. And I thought I considered myself pretty healthy. I felt like I slept okay. I felt like I had a decent energy. I could exercise and do all those things. I didn't have anything that was crucially bothering me except for my shoulder. But within the first 2 weeks, I noticed a definite increase in energy, a definite increase in sleep were the first 2 things that I noticed, which a lot of people notice. The pain definitely receded. I was probably at a 4 or 5, and it definitely receded, but it wasn't gone. It took about 2.5 months till it was gone, and till all my emotion and my flexibility came back. So that was huge for me, because that impacts my daily life, ability to do yoga, do weightlifting, all of that type of stuff. What I didn't expect was all the other benefits that were happening. Increased hair growth, literally 3 months after starting, many people are saying, Renata, your skin looks so good. Like, I'm a financial coach, so I'm on Zoom all the time. Like, literally, I run my business through Zoom. I have clients all over the country. And when several clients all within like 2 weeks go, Renata, your skin's looking really good. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, let me tell you. So it's been super fun to share it with everybody and just have fun watching all the benefits, and then fun sharing, being able to hear all of the people that I've shared it with benefits. I was met a lady yesterday that I started patching about 3 months ago or 3 weeks ago. And she looked at me and she said, you put an ice wave on me. I put an ice wave on me the next day. And I haven't had pain since. 3 weeks of no pain, and had been in pain for months and years prior to that. And she just had tears in her eyes. She says, I can't believe the kind of relief I'm getting from this. So when you can make that kind of impact on people's lives, it's incredibly rewarding. And as Christy said, we're on a mission. We really are. It's an incredibly purposeful mission to be able to reach out and to be able to help other people as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get into a little bit of a presentation here. And as Christy said, I'm going to go through this, and then we're going to open it up for some testimonies, and then we're going to open it up for questions. So stick around. As she also said, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat, and then we will get to them and also open it up so people can just raise their hand or just unmute and join us as well. So, so this is our introduction to LifeWave. Sometimes my mouse works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. Okay. So LifeWave is both a science and a brand. Okay. So David Schmidt is the owner, the scientist, the creator of this technology. A brilliant guy that started this company over 20 years ago. He started the company, he's been an inventor for his entire life, but he started the company with one of our patches called the Energy Enhancer. And he started that with the Navy SEALs. He basically was trying to create an energy source at a cellular level so that they didn't have to use stimulants. And the crazy thing is, I literally just went out to dinner with a friend of mine Sunday night, and she was in 22 years in the Air Force, 28 years in the Air Force, really long time. And she remembers this technology from way back when. She also worked with some other interesting people in the whole arena, which you guys would know names, but she remembers this technology and how impactful it was, which was really cool because she and I were just sort of like reconnecting after a long time. So when I learned about it, what we're learning now is that David Schmidt created these patches to help heal us from the inside out, okay? So the LifeWave patches, they're innovative and creative technology. They use light therapy. It's also called photobiomodulation, okay? So the way I try to explain it to people is this. If you've ever seen people look through goggles or like infrared, you can see the colors of a person's body infrared through like night vision goggles. We have light and heat in our body, invisible light and heat. So basically that light and heat is coming out of our body, reflecting on the crystals that are in the patches and reflecting back in and basically signaling our body to react, okay? So the patch looks like this, a simple little, tiny little white patch that we use on a daily basis to trigger that change in our body, okay? A lot of people say, well, what's in the patch? Basically, you're looking at two pieces of plastic. They're sticky on one side, smooth on the other. What's in between them is organic crystals that are coded, C-O-D-E-D. They're a nanotechnology, and they're coded to ask your body to work differently or to respond based on the signaling that is in the patch. So whether it's our stem cell activation patch, whether it's our pain reduction patch, our anti-inflammatory patch, they're all going to work a little bit differently, but it's the same technology. It is basically light therapy, okay? Okay, this mouse is super happy here. Okay, so the LifeWave patches work basically on acupuncture points. So if you do any research and look, you can print out stuff through the web and see all the different acupuncture points, all sorts of different, they're called meridians, right? So we have energy that runs all through our body. It's at a cellular level. And these patches work based on those acupuncture points. For instance, I listened to a video a couple weeks ago, and the person was had interviewed David, and he had said that the optimal place for an X39 for females is at stomach 36. And I'm like, where is stomach 36? And so I just Googled it, and I looked at acupuncture points, and it's like on the right, and I hope I have it right. I'm going to go double check it one more time. On the right leg, below the knee, just a little bit to the outside. And so that's where I've been putting my X39. But just so you know that through all the medical studies and the clinical trials that have been done, all of the patches, any of the patches that come, have a pamphlet that come with them that look like this, that give you, that show you where the optimal places are to patch. But just so you know, that's flexible as well. We'll get into that a little bit more, okay? So all of these patches are considered a Class 1 medical device. All that basically means is it's like a Band-Aid. We do not have to be registered, quote unquote with the FDA because we're not putting any medicine in your body. We are an FDA registered facility, but just so you know that this little patch is not going to interact with any medication because we don't have any medication going into our bodies. It's a non-transdermal patch, okay? And as it says here, we have over 80 clinical studies, and we have ways that you can go read any of those that you want to, broken down by the different types of patches we have. We also have over 130 clinical trials, 130 patents that are protecting this technology. And why is that important? Well, basically, as Christy has said, it's important because there's nobody else out there doing what we're doing, okay? It's proprietary. There's nobody else that's using this kind of technology out there. And so that the patents are what protect the technology, okay? We are manufactured in Ireland, and basically we have the capacity to provide patches to 2 billion, I think that's correct. I think that's what I remember Christy saying. Over 2 billion households, which our goal is to continue growing. And our company is exponentially growing month after month after month. And it's growing month after month is because people are getting results. People are healing and people are seeing a difference in their quality of life and sharing, because when you find something that you love, everybody wants to share it. And so that's why we're continuing to grow, okay? Next slide. Love this fact. The less stem cell activity you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. So as you know, for anybody who's approaching middle age and up, there's lots of things you start noticing as you age that are like, is this really, do I have to put up with this? Things like your skin getting thinner, wrinkles, all sorts of things. Your hair turning gray. But what we're doing is we are changing our cellular age in a way. So all of those used to be, I'm getting older, it's just a matter of aging. We don't have to say that anymore. Okay, we literally are aging backwards. We are age reversing, and that's one of the things I love about this. So someone asked me one time, it's like, so how long do I need to use these patches? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, is it just, like 3 months? And I'm like, no, you would not go to the gym, start getting results, and then stop going to the gym. This is something that you're going to want to, one, give time to let your body work on healing and changing, but it's also something that I don't know about anybody else, but I've been doing it for a year and I'm going to keep doing it because I love the results I'm getting and I'm continually noticing new improvements. And all of my friends and girlfriends are pumping up my ego and saying, oh, your skin looks really good, Renata. I'm like, oh, thank you. So that's one fun aspect of it too. Okay, let's dive in a little bit deeper. What are stem cells? Stem cells basically are neutral cells. When we are born, they're healthy, whole, and amazing. In fact, one of the friends that I had yesterday, she said she saved her cord blood. I'm like, what are you going to do with it? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, well, I tell you, I've met somebody who told me that they saved their kid's cord blood, and her husband was diagnosed with MS, and they're using it to help him heal him. So stem cells are crucial. Healthy stem cells are crucial in our body. The stem cell can be any kind of cell that the body needs to be. Basically, the patches provide the signal on where your body is going to start adjusting, rejuvenating, and regenerating, okay? By 25, our own cells have drastically reduced. I'm going to just look real quick. Somebody is not on mute, and I need to mute them. There we go. Just see, it's been a little bit of interaction here. Okay. So by 25, our stem cells are drastically decreasing. By the time I'm going to be 60 in a year and a half, and it's definitely going the wrong direction. So I want it to go the other direction and start getting healthier. So X39 is literally the world's first and only stem cell therapy. It's regenerating and activating and regenerating our own stem cells. And it does that by means of a copper peptide called GHKCU. So if you get a chance to go research it, please do. It's well known in the industry that that's an anti-aging copper peptide. There's a lot of incredible videos out there in our company of doctors explaining this in more detail. And if anybody wants more information on it, feel free to reach out. Go to frequencypatchesinfo.com, and Christy, if somebody can put that into the chat, would be great. And you can learn a little bit more details about that. But one of the things that I love is that it's not only is X39 affordable, but it's ethical. and it requires no chemicals, no injections, or no, we're not shoving somebody else's stem cells in me. Christy had her daughter do this, but I also had somebody reach out to me and say, so whose stem cells are we putting with these patches? I'm like, no. We are activating and regenerating our own stem cells. So crucial information. We are activating, regenerating our own stem cells that are going on in our body. So as a result, everybody's experience is going to be different. Some people, for instance, will notice a pain reduction like within hours for an X39. Other people, it might take a couple weeks. 70% of the people, based on all the studies, will feel a difference in the first 30 days. You might be a person that you're that 30% that maybe you need 2 months or 3 months. But we basically encourage people, for every decade that you are, use it for at least a month to see what kind of benefits you can get. Because we have plenty of people on our team, and in the testimonial group, they're like, month 5 or month 6, they're like, oh my gosh, this has changed. Or for me, month 7 to month 8, month 9, I started noticing things. I noticed at about month 9 or 10 that some of my numbness that was in my jaw from multiple jaw surgeries and botched wisdom teeth surgery is disappearing. And so it's regenerating my nerves on my left side of my face. So that was, literally just within the last couple months. So give it time and consistently. Okay. These are some of the benefits you get, you guys. And if you get even one of these, seriously, it's worthwhile. So top and foremost, how many people are in pain, right? Literally, there is literally, I talk to so many people. Carrie and I travel around coast to coast all summer long. Everybody is dealing with some kind of health concern. You just open up and start talking about it. I literally was dropping off a package at Walgreens today. The lady had a brace on her knee, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did you do? Are you okay? And she goes, yeah. And she started explaining a knee surgery that was botched and blah, blah, blah. And I said, are you in pain right now? She goes, yeah. I said, do you mind if I pat you and see if they could offer you some relief? She says, oh my gosh, that'd be great. And she goes, and my husband, he's got this. I'm like, let me just give you some information. I'll reach out to you. We exchanged information. I just patched her and went on my way. It took 5 minutes to have that conversation. I don't know if she'll reach back out, but the point is, inflammation and pain is universal. So many people are in pain of some sort, and this can definitely help relieve that. Supports wound healing, old and new. Lots of people on our team even have scars that are disappearing. I have a scar that's been disappearing. Take pictures. When you start patching, take pictures, take consistent pictures throughout. I tell anybody that starts patching with me, take pictures of hair, face, nails, hands, scars, varicose veins, anything that you can think of on your body that you have that has changed over the course of your life. Whether old scars, new scars, all sorts of stuff. And you will start seeing a difference. Skin remodeling, it improves old and new scars. It basically reducing scarring. Energy and vitality at the cellular level. You guys, I have a lot of energy, but this kind of energy is very different. I don't use any caffeine, and I love the kind of energy that I get from these patches. Improves the quality and restorative sleep. Something else I want to tell you, which is after talking to my friend the other day, I had blood work done at about the 6-month point. My pH is over 8, and so our body should be alkaline as opposed to acidic, and we should be over 7. And I truly believe that the patches have helped me become more alkaline in my body. In fact, I'm going to work with this friend and do live blood testing in the next month or so, and with and without patches, and sort of just run some scenarios, and we're gonna play and see, run some little tests with live blood testing in the patches and see what happens. But improves quality and restorative sleep. That was huge for me. I felt like I slept great, but I know the sleep was deeper and better than it has ever been. And we have additional things that can help with an X39 to help with that as well. Enhances sports performance, provides faster recovery from exercise. That has been amazing. We also have another patch called X39 that that helps improve that as well. Burns extra fat, protects against 5G, helps with bone density. So we can answer questions on some of the other patches as well. But the X39 is our foundational patch, and it does an amazing amount of things for us. improves cognitive and brain health, improves short-term memory and brain fog. My brother was 68 at the time. He's 69 now. I started patching him third week of May. 2 weeks later, I met Carrie, and I were at my family reunion in New York, and he was there. And one of the things he complained about was sleep, energy, brain fog. And 2.5, 3 weeks later, he's like, night and day difference. He was just raving about just the X39, how much it improved for him. And then now, he hasn't sent me pictures yet, but I saw him on Zoom. His hair has gone from gray to back to his natural color, and it's been 4.5 months. It's pretty incredible. So they're very, very excited. And so no matter what age you're doing this at, I met somebody today who's 41. She says, I don't need these. I'm like, do you want to age backwards? And she's like, well, yeah. I'm like, then you need them. Okay. It's not just for people who are in their 50s and 60s and 70s and so on. It's for all of us as we age. Improves vascular health and blood pressure, and helps provide age reversal for our gene expressors to a younger state. So literally, when you start wearing the patch, it resets 1/3 of your genes to a younger state, which is pretty cool. Okay, going the wrong direction. Okay, I want to show you guys some pictures, and then we're going to have some testimonies. The first one is shoulder surgery, and you can see the difference literally 2 weeks later, how much that scar has healed. And Keiko, I think about Tiffany because that looks like what her scar looked like, as I recall when she showed it to me from her shoulder surgery. The one in the middle had almost lost his hand. You can see the difference in the 3 pictures, 63 days, no pain meds. And the bottom picture, it just looks like he's just has lifelines in his hands. It's hardly you can see the scars. It's incredible. And the one on the right-hand side was a knee surgery. Basically, I have a hard time moving my thing here. You literally 5 weeks post-surgery, and you can see how improved that scar is. There are so many, and I don't know if it's an age thing, but I feel like I know so many people who need knee surgery, are getting ready to have knee surgery, knee replacements, shoulder replacements, all of that. So we are at a crucial point here that we can help people try and avoid these surgeries by giving them relief of pain and healing within their joints. Okay. This young man, he's 22, so he has got lots of stem cells. But you can see how fast his face healed. His parents were brand partners and patched him up. He had a job interview, and you can see he hardly had any noticeable damage 5 days later, which is pretty cool. Of all of these pictures, this is one of the ones that I like, partly because you can see the difference in his day one. Well, it probably wasn't even day one. This was probably taken day, maybe the next day or something, of where he hit his head. Got lots of patches on him. You can still see on 2 weeks later, he's got some scarring under his cheeks, or the blood pooling under his cheeks and above his eyebrow. But 7 weeks later, look at that. Look how smooth his skin all over looks. The depth of his wrinkles and just the texture of his skin, all of that. He looks amazing. So as we age, as I get to that point, I'm hoping I'm going to have less wrinkles too. Like this young lady here, 4 months of using X39, you can see the difference in the vitality of her skin, the depth of her wrinkles. It's just amazing. It's like, you know what we need to call this? We need to call this facelift in a patch. That's what we call it, facelift in a patch. And the young lady here is, you can see the scarring from the acne over there. So especially when you're young, that kind of skin remodeling can happen super fast and have incredible results. So how many people we know, either our kids or other people, that could really use something like this to help with their texture and their quality of their skin? Okay. One thing that I thought was cool once I started knowing what to even look for with these patches is I started noticing, I don't watch TV very much, but through like social media, when I would see pictures and stuff, I would start seeing athletes wear this. And we have a ton of athletes in our company, all the way back to the Olympic swimmers that started using them, to the point, and they were improving their personal best records so much that they got called in, had to be tested, proved that there was nothing going into their system. And if you want to see those videos on that, I would love to share it to you. It talks about the David Schmidt, years ago, talking about the Olympic teams that were using it, and the professional athletes across the board. And again, because there's nothing going in the bloodstream, they can get extra boost and extra performance using our patches, which is pretty amazing. Okay. And let's not forget our pets. I have several pet stories, friends that use them for their horses, friends that have used them for cats, friends that have used them for dogs. So there's lots of different stories. In fact, just 3 weeks ago, I visited a friend up in North Phoenix, and her 13-year-old dog, every time they took her out, they'd have to literally go behind and pick up her hips to get her to stand up. And after a few days of patching, she was able to get up on her own. And that quick makes such a difference. And it's just that pain and inflammation that it can relieve. So if you have a pet, what we do is we call it what's called secondary patching. We put the pet patches on in the morning. We take them off at night. We do them in the morning because we want to hydrate well. We take them off. You can put them on your counter. The next day, you put them on your pet. Now, you can put them, as in the left-hand side, that the cat had a cast. You can put them on the outside of the cast. You can put them right on the fur. You can tie a ribbon around their neck and put it on the ribbon. Or as my friend in North Phoenix did, the dog had a metal collar. They just tied a little mesh bag to the collar, put a patch in there, and anytime the dog was laying down, the patch was, up against them. So there's lots of different ways to do it, but it definitely makes a difference, and it will help your pet heal. It'll help your pet with pain and inflammation. Or as with my friend who has a horse, the horse is now able to get up and run around the paddock at 31 years old. She's totally enthralled with the benefits she's gotten for her horse. So all good things. Okay. Oh, and I love this one. I just wanted to show you guys this one. This just recently popped up. This lady was one of David's first X39 models. She was, in 2009, she was 93 years old on the left-hand side. 4 years later, she's still patching, and she's 97, and you could look at the difference in her skin, which is pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited for that. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to stop sharing here, and I am going to ask for a few people to pop in and give us a testimony if they're willing to. Let's see. Who do we want to start with, Christy?
Let's ask Debbie, because she has a couple guests on. So let's ask Debbie to share her patch story.
Okay.
Me, Debbie, or other
Yes,
Debbie?
yes. I know we do have a couple Debbies, don't we? Yes, you, Debbie. Thank you.
All right. Well, I would say the biggest thing for me that I have noticed is my migraines. I used to get them at least 2 to 3 times a week. The debilitating type, and they were just miserable. And fortunately, through taking X39, I no longer I get maybe one a month. I think I've had one maybe once in the last couple months. But the whole reason I started this, you'll see Barbie, she's on here, she's my sister, but I was helping her with her favorite thing, taxes. And God, I was getting one of those headaches, and she's like, she had been bugging me about patching. And so she's like, let me patch you. And I was like, oh, fine. And so she put those patches, the LifeWave patches. I actually, had a slight headache today, so I have them on actually right now. But funny enough, but she put them on, and my headache went away in like 3 seconds flat. I'm not kidding you. It was like, wow. And so I'm like, okay, now I need to learn more. So that's what started my journey. But along with the migraine relief and the money that I'm saving by not having to pay for medication, I have wonderful sleep. I love the dream and the shine. I don't know if you could see that. Anyway, man, that stuff's amazing. That really helps me sleep like a baby too. But I just feel I could even get up. We're all women here. I can get up and go pee in the middle of the night, and I can be on the middle of this wonderful dream, and I can go back to bed, snuggle, and I pick up right where I left off. It's wonderful. That's probably my biggest things are the sleep and obviously my hair is getting a little bit less gray, so I'm not complaining about that. But anyway.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And we all know that sleep is huge. It really is huge. As she was referring to, in fact, I keep loaning mine out, so I don't even have it to hold it up until I get my new stuff. But I loan my dream out to people, and then they try it and they love it, and then they wearing it, but with Dream and Shine are aromatherapies that you spray on your wrist and you breathe deeply like 8 times. Yep, there we can see Debbie's holding it. And that is something that it's a 2-month supply in each of the bottle, and the Shine is a morning one and the Dream is for night. And we basically tell people, make sure you're in bed before you put the Dream on, because it works really fast and it's really effective. But yes, sleep is huge. And more, if you guys are into wellness, the more you read about how important good quality sleep is. So awesome, Debbie. I appreciate you sharing that. And the fact that your migraines have gone away, that's huge. Huge. Yeah, I've had family members that had I remember my 20s having really bad migraines, and but didn't have any kind of relief for them. So that's awesome. Sweet. Well, let's see. Cassie, are you available, and would you be willing to share? Go ahead and unmute.
All right. I can totally share on the fly. I've been noticing a lot. And they told me in the beginning to write down everything that's happening, because for me, and my husband's story is the most life-changing in our family. I had a little bit of the changes that happened over time, and his was immediate. So with mine, hair growth. When I started in May, my hair was up to here, and now it's like way down there. And it has been great for my skin. I used to have a cyst right under my eyebrow right here. That went away. Funny enough, today I took pictures finally. I had a varicose vein because I have a lot of like lower lumbar stuff. These are some of the new things that just came up. And my varicose vein is starting to diminish very quickly. So I was like, yay. We got in an accident in 2020, and I have 2 herniated discs. I was a very athletic person growing up, so I've had a lot of spinal injuries. I've had broken tailbone more than once. And some of those things just kind of add up over time. And the amount of pain relief, like not waking up in pain, was like my first thing that I truly noticed, was that I can move. I don't wake up in pain anymore. And it's like, it's almost exciting to wake up, after a good night's sleep and you're not in pain. So that's a little bit with me. I have a whole bunch of lists that can go on and on with the little things, but my husband was the life changer for me. Christy introduced me to these patches. I don't know how long ago it was, but we were at the dentist's office and she was telling me about these patches. I was like, what is a sticker going to do? I didn't really believe anything. I was just kind of like not ready to hear it. And then I saw Barbie, she kept posting about this too. And I saw her transformation. I'm like, okay, there's something here. And my vanity brought me here because I was like losing my hair, and it was a whole thing. And I was like, well, I don't know. I'll just go listen. And I came into one of these Zooms, but a live version of this. And I was just skeptical. I was really skeptical. And I was like, okay. So I listened, and I ended up earning the little free patches that we did for joining. And I was like, you know what? I told my husband, because he has shoulder pain from our car accident. He has herniated discs up in his neck, and then his shoulder was out, and he had constant shoulder pain, couldn't even do a push-up or bench press anymore. And he's a very athletic guy, and we're in our 30s, so we're a little bit younger, right? And he's like, I just can't do this. So I was like, well, let's just see. I'm like, if it doesn't work, we can just trash the rest. I don't care, but let's see. So I put the patch on his shoulder, and he was like, okay. Within not even 10 minutes of wearing the patch, he could start doing push-ups, and he's like, this is not painful at all. He goes, what is this magic and the sorcery of it all? And we were laughing. And then we went to the gym, and not only was he like bench pressing, but he was double plating, which is a lot of weight. And he started doing that no problem. And he noticed that as he was using it, even when he didn't have a patch on, he's like, it doesn't hurt as much. So we have been consistent patchers ever since, and that is my story.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's funny. I can't tell you how many people we've talked to who are so skeptical about it. And it's natural for us to be skeptical, right? We've been so conditioned by the pharmaceutical industry, to believe that we can get relief instantaneous by taking a pill, right? And so many people are not willing to give our bodies time to heal. And we're just skeptical, right? So, but I think like you and other people, once you give it a try and give it some time and consistency, you become sold on it. You're like, yeah, of course this works, right? No, I totally get it. I was a little bit skeptical too, but I sort of figured, what the heck, it was worth a try. It wasn't that expensive, and I had nothing to lose. So that was my thought process when I first started. So thank you, Cassie. I really appreciate that. Christy, do you want to just go ahead and chime in?
Absolutely, I will. Thank you. And you did a wonderful job, Miss Director. Okay, so my background is social work. And so I absolutely love what we do here because we're helping people in a very unique way. And I started the patches. I was not looking for anything. I was with a different company and I was very happy with that company, but I hurt my foot. And my business partner and good friend hurt his back and shoulder, and he started using the sticker on his back and shoulder, and it worked for him. And he said, I don't know, maybe this will work for you. So I put it on my foot, and my foot was bruised and swollen. I couldn't work out for a couple of weeks, and I enjoy working out, and so that was bothering me, and I couldn't walk properly. So I put it on the bottom of my foot, and I'm like, well, we'll just see what happens. And within 2.5 hours, I was able to walk on my foot. And the next day I was able to go back to the gym. And at first I thought, oh, this is a woo-woo or a placebo. What is this? What really is this? So I did my due diligence and I learned more about it. And I learned more about the CEO, which is also the scientist and the inventor of this technology. And I found out that it was doing some pretty amazing things for a lot of people. And like Renata, I'm like, oh, age reversal. So I kind of looked at myself, like, what could I use? And I'm overall a pretty healthy person, but I was entering into my 50s, 51. And so I thought, well, age reversal, I'm all about that. But then I knew a lot of people that were ill, that have, chronic pain, and that would like to age backwards with me. So I thought, what the heck, let's just share this. And it just started happening organically, because that's what happens. People use the patches, they love them, and they know people that need them. But 4 months later, my son got in a horrible motorcycle accident, and he was 18 at the time. It wasn't his fault. He was fully geared from head to toe, but he was cut off and flew 50 feet. And the helmet damaged his artery, which caused him to have several strokes, a brain bleed, and traumatic brain injury. He also shattered his knee, tore every tendon and ligament in his knee, shattered his wrist. The doctor said his wrists was like dust. They didn't know if they could put him back together to have his wrist work properly, his brain work properly, and his knee. He broke 5 ribs, bruised liver, collapsed lungs. And he had COVID going in, and he got MRSA and pneumonia in the hospital. So there were 4 things that really could have taken my son out of this world. And thank God, God wasn't ready for him. I immediately thought, when we got that phone call, they said we were out of town, and they said, you need to come home. I don't know if your son is going to make it. And so I immediately thought, first I got my prayer warriors out there, and then I thought, I got to get these patches to him. I have to have the doctor say yes to this. And when I got in touch through the nurse, because I never got to see her because it was COVID time, the doctor said yes to this technology because she had heard about it 2 years prior. So somebody had enough courage to share with Andrew's doctor 2 years prior. And I'm eternally grateful for that person, because she knew it wasn't going to enter the bloodstream and it wasn't going to interfere with anything that they're doing. Because a lot of times, especially a COVID ICU, they don't want any external, interference or influence on their patients. But they said yes, and I'm so grateful. So we patched and we prayed a lot. And Andrew was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. When he woke up, because of the strokes, his left side of his face was droopy and he couldn't move his left side of his body. But the whole time I kept saying and praying that my son is healed, healthy, and whole. And I knew that my son was going to come out of it. And so he just, day after day, and it only took a few weeks when I look back at some pictures, and his face became normal again. He started moving his body on the left side. He learned how to walk again. At month 2, he was in the hospital for 2 months. He went home to his apartment because that's where he wanted to be, and he had assistance from my husband and I. We switched off. And then month 3, he was on his own. He's like, you know what? I got this. I can do this. Of course, I was taking him to physical therapy every day, but he was living on his own. He also had drop foot and neuropathy because of everything that he had gone through. His neuropathy was gone at month 4. His drop foot, he was supposed to wear a brace for the rest of his life on his foot so it wouldn't drop. And he no longer needed that at month 4, which they were amazed at that. Month 5, I can't believe this. I had to look back. He went to a concert, a 2-day concert for 10 hours with loud music and lights galore. Now, when you have a brain injury like that and strokes, like that's almost impossible. But my son had the best time of his life. And month 6, he was living on his own. He graduated from his extensive program that he was in. He was the worst going into this program. It's called Bridge. There were 4 men. My son was one. He was the worst going in, and he graduated first and the best going out. And so he was working, driving, thriving. He has a girlfriend. He never got addicted to pain medication. He never went into, this is him day 2, because they didn't let us see him the first day. So this is day 1 or day 2 in the COVID ICU. And then this is him 11 months later. Never got addicted to pain medication and never went through depression. So I'm very grateful because he had a life-changing, situation happen, and that's very common. And a year and a half later, he went to go see his primary doctor. He doesn't have any more doctors, just his primary. And they said, he said, I've been a doctor for a very long time, and you are the worst patient that I've ever seen go through what you've been through and survive, let alone heal the way you have, because my son has full function in his knee, in his wrist, and his long-term memory and short-term memory is amazing. So if you didn't know him, you wouldn't even know that he was in an accident. He's not 100%, but I'm telling you, he's close to it. And the doctor even said, do you think it was those patches that your mom had you wearing? And my son said, yes, I do. And I know he believes it was God as well, right? And the incredible doctors. But we believe that God gives you tools to help heal your body. And so this was just a powerful tool. So I thank God that I hurt my foot over 2 years ago, because now we are just, like I said, on a mission. There's so many people that need this. I'm extremely passionate about it. And now you know exactly why I am. So thank you guys for letting me share.
Thank you, Christy. I didn't know you at that time, but we had a lot of mutual friends in common. So I'm sorry you went through all that, but again, it's just been such a blessing to see all the changes. And I can remember back in like March, I looked over and you had tears in your eyes. I'm like, what's going on? And you said, Andrew just ran for the first time. And I was like, holy cow, when you think about how far he's come, in the last couple of years, it's pretty incredible. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? I never say this, but I believe this technology, and with all the prayers, like I had a real sense of peace during this really crazy time. And my husband even said to me, because he wasn't wearing, he wasn't even wearing the patches at all. And he said, wow, you're handling this better than I am. And usually he's the major rock in the family, and I'm the one that's always falling apart. And he's like, wow, I can't believe how much you're handling this and how well you're handling this. And so I believe that that God and the patches helped me during that time as well, mentally and physically, because it was both extremely exhausting.
Sleep and all the rest of it. Yeah, I totally get that. That. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of things I wanted to say, and then we're going to open it up for questions. That we talked about using the patches. So just a couple clarities. We put the patch on in the morning, we take it off at night. We put it on in the morning or during the day. We want to hydrate well, which is why we consider these daytime patches. X39 and 49 are daytime. Some of the other patches you can use at the nighttime. And you can talk to the person who invited you to sort of explain all the rest of the patches. But for someone who's in any type of pain or inflammation, we always recommend start with the X39, add an Eon for inflammation or an LifeWave for pain relief if need be. But stay consistent with the X39 patch, on in the morning, off at night. A new one in the morning, off at night. You can put it on your counter and repat and secondary patch your pet the next day if you want. The other two very, very important things are you want to hydrate well. You want to hydrate with quality water. RO water is very acidic, so if you can get away from RO water, that's best. If you can mineralize your water with electrolytes, with Celtic salt or pink Himalayan salt, something like that, that's better. We get rid of minerals all the time out of our body. We need to replenish that. So mineralize your water and hydrate well. Be consistent with your patch and then give it some time. Give the patch the respect it's due, and also give your body the respect it's due. Your body didn't get into dysfunction overnight, or your loved ones' bodies didn't get into a dysfunction overnight, so they're not going to get out of dysfunction right away. We have had some incredible testimonies in our team of things that happen quick, but we've also had incredible testimonies that things that have happened over time. So give the patches the due respect, give your body the due respect, and give it some time to see those kind of benefits. And anybody that has been patching for any length of time, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep patching because we continue to see benefits. So another thing about the patch is we talk about there's a couple places behind the neck on C7 where you bend your neck and have a little bump, or below your belly button. If you have something that you have a pain or an injury or a hurt, you can also put the X39 right at that spot. So like Christy was saying, she hurt her foot, she put the patch right on her foot. You can do that. You can put the X39 at the point of pain, put an Eon in the back of your neck, move them around. The point is they're going to work systemically through your body, no matter where you put them. But focused, if you have an injury, focus the X39 on an injury or the Eon as well. Okay. Christy, did I leave anything out as far as that goes?
No, I think you're really good. Can I just add about the promotion, or do you want to add about the promotion?
Well, yes, go ahead.
Or we can wait till after we do the drawing.
Yeah, let's see if we have any questions.
Okay,
and then we
sure.
can make some announcements. Perfect. Let's see.
I didn't see any in the chat.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Would anybody like to unmute and ask a question? Any kind of question?
I have a question. If a person doesn't have any pain and their blood pressure is fabulously wonderful, taking that patch, does it drive the blood pressure down even further?
No, it won't. It's only going to help improve systems in your body. It won't put you into a state of dysfunction. It won't, like I have low blood pressure and it's not gone down since I've been patching. So my blood pressures are usually like 110/70, sometimes even like 105/65. You know, it's pretty low, and nothing as far as that has changed. But I know people who have higher blood pressure that has brought back into more function, but it won't put you in the wrong direction. Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
How many patches are there? I'm sorry. How many different type of patches are there?
Okay, so we have a total, I think, of 11. We'll start out at the top. Our two main patches are X39, which is a GHKCU copper peptide. The sister patch is called X49, AHKCU. It's a different copper peptide. And that one is for energy, bone density, improves muscle mass, and burns fat off your body, and 5G protection. Really cool. We have a really cool video of creating a Faraday. The X49 patch literally creates a Faraday effect, meaning it protects you against 5G. So those are the two main patches. We have a lot of supporting patches. Eon, which is anti-inflammatory. Carnosine works on your health, organ, brain, and then glutathione is our master antioxidant. That's going to elevate your glutathione levels 300% in 24 hours of using that patch. So if anybody has toxins in them, which we all do, air, water, food, shampoo, all of that stuff, glutathione will help detoxify your body by boosting your immune system and giving your body the necessary tools to detoxify. Then we have a sleep patch, Silent Night. We have a SP6, which is a weight loss hormone helping patch is, and again, whoever invites you can send you a little brochure that sort of like describes all of them. We also have a patch for horses called AccuLife, a pain patch for horses. We have a pain patch for humans called LifeWave. We have a energy enhancer, which is the original patch that David created for the Navy SEALs. It's a 2-patch system, as is LifeWave. And then the last is we have a aromatherapy, which is the Shine and Dream, which we had mentioned before. So my encouragement to everybody, foundational, start on X39. If you've got pain and inflammation, add the Eon. If you want to work on other things, you add the supporting patches. I was talking to my friend last night, and she goes, so how many patches do you have on you? And I'm like, I think I have 4 on me right now. And she goes, well, how do you know which ones to use? And I said, well, I always use 39 and 49. And then just depending on what my day is going to look like, depending on if I'm traveling or how I feel, I add other patches. So depending on what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and what your budget will allow, that's where you sort of decide how you want to patch. Does that make sense, Patty?
And how many, it does. How many different types of patches can you put on at one time? You said you used 4 of them.
You can use
but
all of them if you want to.
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No side effects.
No side effects. Nope. Do you need to use all of them all the time? Probably no. But using more, like using 2 X39 is not double the benefit. So because they work systemically through your body, it's not like you have to double up on stuff. Unless you're in severe pain, maybe doubling up on LifeWave, like some on the bottom of your feet, maybe, some on your, your back or something, depending on what's going on. I've heard people doubling up on LifeWave. But I don't know if, Christy, have you ever heard people doubling up on anything else?
Glutathione if you're traveling. So if you're going to be around a big crowd and traveling, you could wear glutathione, a couple of them before, during, and after would be a great idea. Yeah, and that's about it. Now, Patricia, so the ones to wear at night, but the good ones to wear at night is going to be Eon, Alavita, and Silent Night. Eon can also be worn during the day as well, because that's going to help with the pain. With the stress and inflammation. So, but yeah, Renata's absolutely correct. To start with X39 and let's see what your body does. I really wouldn't recommend that somebody just start. Like, I don't think anybody on this Zoom started with a bunch of patches. We all started with X39. And then we gradually, as we learned about them and saw what our body needed, then we added other things. It's kind of like a supplement. You take your multivitamin, but then you might need to add your, a probiotic or a vitamin D or a vitamin B, depending on how you feel or what your blood work looks like, if that makes sense.
Great.
Yeah. We're called patch enthusiasts. Like, once you learn more about it, you just kind of get like really excited about it, because our CEO he's the inventor, and he does a webinar for us every month. And when you learn about it, you're like, whoa, okay, like I might need that one. So, and we have a great special right now. So right now, like actually today, for the next couple hours, we have a great special still going on. And then tomorrow we have, I don't think Renata talked about, we have a day and night cream and a Alavita patch that is to die for.
I did forget that one.
Yeah. And that one is absolutely amazing. That's going to be on special until December 4th. But when I started my patch journey, I started with X39. And then when there was promotions, I would just try that, let me just try that and see what it did for me. And if I like it, I'll continue. But I always tried everything when it was, when there was a promotion or got a discount. And just so you know, and Renata's going to do a great training for us in January. It's all a tax write-off. If you sign up for a wholesale account as a member or a distributor, it's all a tax write-off. So that's a really cool thing as well too. So instead of, I tell people, invest in your health now, and you'll have a lot of transfer spending that happen over time. And I know I've saved a lot of money on my health over time.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who color their hair is turned back, and they're not coloring their hair anymore, and not having to get their teeth cleaned as often, and just a whole variety of things. I don't get as many massages as I used to because I just don't feel like I need it as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as Christy was saying, there's 3 Black Friday sales that end tonight. We have a Cyber Monday sale that ends Cyber Monday sale that ends tonight, and then we have another one that started today, the Alavita, that goes through December 4th. To access any of those sales, you need to be a brand partner or a preferred customer. So reach out to the person who sent you. If you sign up as a brand partner, usually the way we start people is a 3-month treatment of X39. If you have a spouse that you want to start at the same time, we might recommend going with that's silver, or might recommend going with gold. That would give you and your spouse some patches to last for a couple months. Or you can mix and match. Something I start a lot of people out on for silver is 2 X39s, an Eon and an LifeWave, if they have any kind of pain or inflammation going on, because that gives you a 2-month supply, so to speak, of both. And then you can try the Eon and the LifeWave, see how they work, and then you can add more down the road if you want. So the cool thing about being a brand partner is you order as you want. And it's like Christy said, as a financial coach, I teach people all the time about, one, about passive income, which is fun if you start sharing it, but 2, how do you get the write-offs? You know, how do you increase your decrease your taxes, so to speak? And one of the ways we do that is we write off all of our own patches because we are a product of the product and we're advertising. So it becomes a write-off, which is really cool. I like that. So as a financial coach, I have my business and I have my expenses, but as a LifeWave, I'm running another business as well, which is really cool. So, okay, you guys. Christy, any other announcements? We're doing this every Tuesday at the same time, 5 o'clock Pacific time. We have a fantastic Facebook testimonial group called Living Healthy with Me. So talk to the person who invited you and they can invite you into that testimonial group, and you can invite anybody else into that as well. Okay. Christy, any other last things?
No, I think you did an exceptional job as always. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to do a drawing?
We are. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can.
Before you hit start, before you do the wheel, let's just make sure all of our guests are in there. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, look it's here. See, I don't know how it got there, but it's there. Okay. Can you guys see it?
Yes, I can. Yep. Okay.
I'm so excited. Okay. Is everybody's name on the wheel that should be?
It's a guest.
How are we? Yes, if you're a guest.
No, I think there's one more.
Who is it? Do you know?
Yeah.
iPhone 19. Who is that?
Yeah, the iPhone 19.
That's your guest?
Yeah.
That's Lori, right?
No. Oh well. So no, it's
What is her?
I'm like, hold on a second. I don't want to mess your name up.
I think I got it.
Lorismed? Oh yeah, you got it in there. You're right. I thought it was Lori.
Okay. Okay.
You're good.
All
okay,
right. So
fine.
are we good?
That's fine. Yeah, we're good.
All right. I'm so excited.
What are you giving away, Christy?
Okay, we're giving away a week's worth of X39. So I'll put that in the mail for you guys tomorrow to the lucky winner or the blessed winner. And then we do this every week. So bring your guests and they can have a chance to win as well. So let's see. I just love this wheel. I think it's so fun.
Hi, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Margie. And I know that Debbie invited you, so please make sure to get Debbie your full name and your address, and she'll get that to me, and we will definitely pop that in the mail tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. That was fun. Okay, let's.
Thank you all. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. We will have this recorded into our YouTube channel probably by tomorrow. So if you have any questions or if you want to reach out to the person who sent you, they can help you get signed up and possibly even take advantage of the sales that are going on tonight. So, okay, you guys.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Have a beautiful night.
Great job, Renata.
Bye-bye.